I was thinking about another topic, and having a sense of humor about ourselves. Because I know I damn well do stupid shit sometimes, and and like to me, it's like, well, I mean, not only am I middle aged, but I think most of us do a big deal, like like you're getting ready to leave the house, you got like your cell phone, and you got keys in your hand, you got this in your hand, and that, and you're shuffling to leave, and all of a sudden now it's time to find your car keys, and I can't find my car keys. I can't find it. And you look at your hand like, oh, there they are. And I've heard other people say it happens to them too. Well, this just happened to me. And this is why I picked this topic of having a sense of humor. I'm sitting here and I'm like, I like doing, I love, this is fun. I'm digging this. This is cool. It's like having your own little TV, you know, screen, TV show. um, but I was just started a video and I was going to talk about, life inside of a submarine, life about submarines a little bit. And I was talking for like, I don't know, at least like 15 minutes, all the good stuff, talking and talking and talking. Yeah, I'm talking to me, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, how much time did I put in? I looked down, and the damn timer, I never even started the damn video. Oh, God. But that's what I'm talking about, having a sense of humor about ourselves. I've done things that I can only laugh at, and it feels good. It's like big deal, it's harmless. I clicked the button, but it never ran, or I was close to the button anyway. I just had to share that. But sense of humor about ourselves is, you know, yeah, there's a time I really didn't have a sense of humor. Part of my growing, in life. And I would do something and I get pissed, pissed at myself, harbor resentment towards myself. I wanted to kick my own ass, but it's real easy to laugh at myself when I do silly things, and because they are that way. They're silly. I got one for you. I love this. Here's an example. I was up at the VA recently, and while I was there, I got a call from the pharmacy in the same building. Said that they had medication that, for some stupid reason, was returned to them. They messed up the mail, and I could pick it up. And she told me her name was Sheila. So I was, oh, great, good, 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 good. And she said, yeah, the other one the post office delivered, great, great, great. So I come looking for this medicine. So I go in there and I see this. There's a woman sitting at one little desk and a man sitting at the other. The pharmacist. That's where we check in first, talk to them, and they put our prescription through. And so I see the woman, and I don't know her name. And I sat down, and we started talking about this and that, and this and that. And I was like, okay, let me get my medicine. You told me the medicine's here. She goes, what? What medicine? She looked at her. She goes, I don't see medicine for you. And I said, oh, I said, well, the woman said her name is Sheila. And she says, well, I'm not Sheila. Sheila's in there. It works in that room there. And I'm like, well, I said, well, what is your name? And she told me your name, God, it was so funny though. You had to be there. Oh, Lord. But, and that, she's kind of cute too, but, I'm still staying single for just a little while longer. I got some work to do on myself first. So that was kind of funny, but I laughed. I thought it was hilarious, and if you're one that doesn't, maybe you never thought about it, but if you one that doesn't have much of a sense of humor about himself or herself, like, you get angry with yourself or frustrated if something goes wrong or you embarrass yourself a little, that's up to you. I don't have to live in your brain, your body, but having a sense of humor about oneself is it's like a pressure release valve. If we don't laugh a little bit at ourselves, it's just part of that junk that collects in our little filing cabinet of the stuff we don't want. But that's essentially it. There's not much more to it. And the thing about not having a sense of humor about yourself, it's not hurting anybody. It's nobody's business, because if you do something that's silly or stupid or whatever, and you don't think it's funny, you don't want to laugh at it, there's really no harm done. So um, that's what it is. So I'm up. It's like 3:15 a.m. here in Nashua. Um, I don't know how I can, stay up late and function. I still have, like, my eyes play tricks with me, little stuff that's kind of quirky. But I think what it is, there's times when I've gone to bed, and if I wasn't on the right medication, my mind's racing and I'm active and I can't sleep because my mind's burning and churning like a lot of ours do. And then there's times when I'm enjoying myself so much, which those 2 years went by recently, and I wasn't enjoying shit then. But I'm enjoying myself so much with this, and it's like this. It's like, this may apply to you. If you find something you really love, you really have a passion for it, and passion is something I haven't talked about much, and it just satisfies you so much in so many ways. That's what position I'm in. Imagine that you're on your computer, your laptop, or your cell phone, whatever, and you're into something, what it is, whatever it is, and you're just freaking it, just you're gushing with just joy of doing what you're doing, whatever it may be. And then you realize it's getting a little late, and you don't have to be anywhere tomorrow. You don't have a spouse that's gonna get out of bed. It's time to get up, shit like that. You're just free, and so you know I if I'm enjoying myself that much, I'm staying up. Because right now I'm not in a position to sleep. I'm not that kind of tired. If I lay down, I'm gonna be back on my feet in 2 minutes. So anyway, besides staying up late and it's standing out as something that's not usual, that's a stigma. Our parents put that in our heads. It's 8 o'clock bedtime. It's nighttime. What are you doing up at 3 in the morning? It's night. Society, builds that. Oh, no, it's late. It's late. It's late. There's people all over the place working. People are alive and living. To me, really 3 o'clock, 3:15 in the morning to be awake. Um, it's just the schedule my body's on this planet. All kinds of different creatures have different body clocks and schedules, and there's no right or wrong. Some people tend to think it's just like it's more like wrongish. It's like this is time we're supposed to be in bed, but I don't have to adhere to other people's belief systems because it's the norm or society does. I'm not breaking any laws, and I can perceive, from my world, I can perceive the things around me in the way I want to, not the way everybody else does. And I've always felt locked down, like I couldn't do that. I was always one that didn't like bandwagon. If everybody had this new craze and everybody's running out buying a new Umpty Frats toy at freaking Walmart that does this and that and it's the new fad, I'm usually not interested. But that's nothing wrong with that. I want to sail my own ship. I want the helm in my hands on my ship, and I kind of learned better that way. Oh, this was pretty cool. I'm not gonna move the camera. I love grandfather clocks. Grandfather clocks are awesome. I always wanted one, but I couldn't afford one. They're a couple $1,000s or more. There was an ad in like Craigslist or Let Go, one of those sell sites to give away free stuff. I was looking up free stuff, and somebody had a grandfather clock in there. And okay, I was like, it's free. There's probably rats living in it, and but no, he left it for me to pick up, and my buddy and I went to pick it up. It looks like it's brand new. I mean, the cabinet's beautiful, beautiful cabinet, not a scratch on it. Pendulums, the glass, everything looks brand new. And the only thing it needs is one of them thingies, the pendulum, which are like $20 online. But it's a beautiful clock. And buddy of mine was telling me like I needed some money, so he's like, "Why don't you sell the clock?" At first, I was thinking about it. I'm like, well, a couple few $100s I could use, but I really love that clock, and I may never get one again because they're expensive. And I said, no, I'm keeping the clock. You know, um, so that's where my value system lies. And a lot of us, believe in that. I mean, sentimental things. You don't want to run out and pawn at a pawn shop or anything, but other things. There's a lot of stuff like if I'm like out of work or down, or when I've been down before. If I'm short on money and I need money, I look around my house for something that I don't use or don't need, and I'm like, big deal. It's like, I never use this thing. I don't need it. I have a new one of it. Why not turn it into 20 or $30? I mean, it's logic. Uh, so I got a situation I had at the VA Medical Center up there in Manchester. I've told the story at least a dozen times to probably a dozen people. So once I get to a point, I just can't. I don't like. It's like enough. But there was just some issues with my medical records and medication issues and stuff, and I was having trouble getting taken care of. So I actually went upstairs to the sixth floor to the acting director's office, the man who's in charge of the entire property and building and people and all that. And something I would never really have thought of really doing before in my old manners of attitude and actions. But I have this energy inside me and this courage inside me now, and If you watch other videos, there's a lot of what I talk about, my experiences and how I'm willing to share them, hoping to help people. It's not like a miracle thing. I mean, a lot of people can do it, but I went upstairs to the director's suite, and his assistant told me that he was in a meeting, a town hall meeting, and I said, okay, well, okay. I mean, I'm not gonna like walk in there and tell, hey, you come see, yes, sir. But the assistant helped me, um, and anyway, everything got worked out. And like a day later, I saw him. I was up there and I saw him at the doorway of they were like doing a brunch kind of thing. It was a recognition. It was for this employee recognition event, And I see everybody down there. I look and there's a long table, all kind of covered dishes and stuff on there. And of course, me. What do you think the first thing popped in my head was? Ding! I've got to get in there. It was pastry. So I knew I really wasn't going to get in there and have the pastry. But I saw the guy that looked like the director I met once before, and I did want to communicate with him, and just meet him, a meet and greet, let him know what's going on and just be friendly, maybe make a new friend, I mean, look, I never in my life would imagine becoming friends with someone of his stature, like having a friend that's, oh yeah, the director of the VA, oh, he's a friend of mine, we go fishing together, I was like, wow, I wasn't able to do that before. So I walk up and I get to the doorway. He recognized me. He's like, we met before. I was like, oh yeah, you were giving out coffee that day, right, sir? He's like, yeah. So I said, by the way, to get in there, I'm Nurse Jones. I'm here for the event. And he kind of looked at me funny. He kind of laughed a little bit, and I said, I'm just kidding. There's a plane, So I introduced myself, and of course I went and minded my own business. And I saw him again, and I walked upstairs later on to see if he was free. He says he has an open door policy, and he was going into a meeting while I was coming up there. And I'm very respectful. I'm not going to try to stop him. I was like whatever. But he was very nice. He says talk to my other assistant here. She'll make an appointment, and you come up, and we'll spend some time talking. So that was pretty cool. But my point with that story is that results in life. Results are obtainable. Like I wasn't always good at getting the results I wanted because I really didn't know the best method. I guess that's just part of growing up and learning. Um, but at that point, I felt I've been jerked around so much about this issue with the meds and all that. I was like, look, you know what? Forget skip all the people that are going to bullshit me all the way up. Just I've already worked with all these people. I see what happens, whatever. So I was polite and I went up to the director's suite. I guess that's part of courage. Having courage, develop. And all what I say, everything I'm talking about is to show people that when they're in some of the worst situations in their life, this is what I've experienced as the result of me doing what I've been doing, and how rewarding it is coming from this total darkness and the value of hell to being here with so many gifts like you never imagined that you would live out and feel and know, and it's just, and be the person that you thought you'd never be able to be, and then you become that person and your dreams are there. So that's why I do this and share the way I do, to show a contrast, you know. So I'm gonna have a little sip of water. So anyway, I made my appointment, and I'll see him in a few days. But I made a move that I normally didn't make, and by doing the right thing this time, I got the results I was looking for in a complex situation. So, of course, there's ways. What a couple techniques with that is, I know how I've communicated when my mouth moves before my brain. Is that the right order? I'm getting tired. Yeah, and I didn't achieve what I wanted or get what I wanted with the way I was communicating. I wasn't always not very concise. My mind's going all over the place. To the right tone of voice and all. But anyway, what I discovered is the key. I think the key to getting to where you need to be to find results for the situations that you're in and that you need fixed. Now, I was feeling before like, oh, this is silly. Who's going to be listening to me? What are they going to think when they listen to me? Who's going to care? And I'm thinking, what value am I putting out there? Am I really, material that can be known just like, the other giants? I mean, I could be one of them. No, I mean, I'll see what I can do with it, but I know there's a hell of a lot of money to be made in it if I'm successful. Um, and I need that too. I spent my whole life working and earning and trying to get by and scrape and scrounge and my finances, for the most part, are a train wreck. And I was raised in a house where money was provided. My grandfather was, I don't know how wealthy he was. He never ever said a word. He had a big business with a partner and this and that. Yeah, but he took care of us with our medical needs, a roof over our head, and food. I mean, birthdays and Christmases, I got nice presents, but we weren't spoiled. But I didn't have to. I didn't have to want. As far as like my mother didn't have to, because he sent her money every week, and he bought us a house once, and you know, that's how I grew up. That's my financial blueprint. When you have a certain outlook on money, or have a certain method of the way you use your money to manage it, for the most part, the way you handle your money is what you learn growing up in your household. And I learned that in a book called A Millionaire Mind. And I'm looking to make my first million. I never in my wildest dreams would ever imagine um, that it was actually plausible given the situation I'm in and the potential earnings from if I do this right. So anyway, I deserve it. I know I do. I'm not asking for much, but I damn well do, and I got a lot to give back to people. But see, that's just it. I was like, we'll see, we'll see. If I got to stop that. I have to say I am. I am a millionaire. I am a successful motivation speaker. I am, and you can do that too. I'm not Mr. Superhero. It's there for everybody. You know. So what we had to do, long haul again, was make sure that we were taken care of. But my financial blueprint was like, if the money's just kind of given you and it's there, it's different than having to go out and like I have to do. I've done this my whole time. I've worked for myself since I was 15, so I didn't, I don't sit back and have a trust fund right now. I've had wealthy relatives. I never got money from any of them. Um, but that's weakness, That's weakness. If and I'll tell you something, my mother's a strong woman in a lot of ways. She says she's a survivor, but I mean, she hasn't really, hasn't really gone through the extremely tough struggles, and she hasn't gone through stuff like I have. And it's not, I mean, it's no big deal. It's my mom. I'm glad she didn't, I mean, some people don't, but my point is that, you know, if something's earned by fighting for it, that's where the difference between having it given to you and having fighting for it, which it's all good. But I hope that I catch on, and I'm gonna get clear. I know, and I'm a little tired, and sometimes I have to. I'm not. This is not rehearsed. I do not sit down and plan exactly what I'm saying right now. This is right off the cuff, so I have to gather my thoughts sometime. Uh, but I'm on 18 minutes in this video, and I've got so much more, and I'm going to make more videos. And I try to think. I try to think. See, I don't want to just focus and be towards one particular crowd. I want to make sure, I want to talk with people, talk to people, share with people that are from all walks of life. So that because I can relate to so much because I've done and been so many places, done so much. I feel the pain for people working call centers. I've done it. I feel the pain for people going through divorces. I've been there. I feel the joy, and I feel people that are scared and lonely and homeless and whatever. I feel it. I have compassion because I've been there. So we walk in different shoes, but we're on the same path, kind of thing. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm gonna cut it short. I'm getting a little hungry. I might get a little snacky poo. I don't know. I bought some of these combos, and I'm just not into them yet. Maybe I'll try. I'll see you guys on the other side of the next video. There and all day. Take care. 10-4 over and out. Roger. Love you. Bye.